What's up, y'all? Welcome back out to the bench in the backyard. Today we are going to be doing a quick repotting on this white mulberry that I just did a few weeks ago. Actually, I guess it's a month ago now. But it's going down into a little pond basket. It's a 9-inch pond basket that I got off of Amazon. It was like a stack of 24 of them for like 40 bucks. So a little over $1 a piece. Pretty good price, I thought. So I picked up a bunch of them, and we're gonna be repotting this guy. So first thing we gotta do is lift it up. Now, I didn't do a whole lot to it when I put it in this pot beginning of last year. I basically just dug it out of the ground. I don't even remember if I kept any of the roots or if it's just I just cut it off and stuck it down in. We'll find out here in a second. I think I did take the roots out, or take it up by the roots. I did. I found them. So I've got some high roots that we're going to have to trim off. That's okay. It's got a lot of fibrous roots in here. And this one started to circle, hit the side of the pot. We'll just come in here, dig out a bunch of this, because this is just my normal compost, the topsoil, mushroom compost, and decomposed manure. And we're going to be putting into that pond basket with an actual bonsai substrate. So using a 111 Akadama pumice and lava rock. We're going to come in here. Any of these roots that are too big, we're going to get rid of. Save the soil because it's still good. It didn't have a whole lot of roots in it. But yeah, you can tell down here at the bottom, it's been growing pretty decently. None of the roots are black, so it's all good in here. Yeah, I think what I did when I did this, like I said, I don't really remember. Pretty sure I just cut off the taproot. Ooh. Maybe I didn't cut off the taproot. And just shoved it down in the pot with a little extra dirt. What we're going to need to do is come in here. We'll get rid of that taproot this time. Got a little bit of the garden soil left as well. You can see a little bit of sandy. All right, so I got most of that out. I'm gonna go spray this out just with a hose and the normal shower setting on my wand, and I will be right back. All right, so that's a mess in here. There's plenty of roots, but they're going every which way. We need to get rid of some of these. I've got a couple that are crossing, and we need to figure out how we want to plant this. First thing I'm going to do, though, these aren't really doing anything. This guy back here must have hit it when I was digging it up with the shovel. So I guess that one's going to have to go off, and we'll actually come pretty far down. Take these two off. Probably take these off as well. This guy up here, got to go. Grab my knob cutters and just flush cut this. About like that. So down here, I've got this one comes in splits and goes straight out to the sides. Can't really use that. And same thing. So this one, the first one I cut off came right there. And then the second one, we're going to come in from this side and snip that off. I've got this one down on the back, coming out and taking a 90-degree turn. We'll get rid of that. I've got some roots up above it that I can use though. So that's not the biggest problem. Again, we'll come in with our knob cutters and just clean that up. And we should get, I mean, these things root prolifically, so we should get some roots coming out around that cut. That one's probably a little thick. This one right here is coming out and cutting straight across the bottom. This is not bad. I need to get this little small guy out though. So if we put the soil line right about there, I would think. Yeah, and we can actually induce this one to kind of grow out from here. So that we'll bury this up here to about right there, and this one should shoot out radially around that little cut point and produce roots there. I don't want to cut off too much of this all at once, but I'll come in because this is going to start growing up if I don't do anything with it. Take that off for now. But yeah, you can see these this root and this taproot were already cut last year when I actually dug it up. But you can see where it's got roots coming from all over the place. I wasn't real sure what I was doing last year, so I kind of just cut them flat. But as I've done some research and watched some videos, um, realized that you need, if you cut it flat, then they're just going to grow out in all kinds of directions. They'll grow up, they'll grow down. But if you kind of cut so that, because they're going to come out from the edge of the cambium, so as the nutrients come down the trunk of the tree and come out to the roots, where that puts out new roots is actually going to be right there around the outside of the heartwood. And so if we control how we cut those, we'll get roots how we want them in the future. So I guess with that, I'm going to have to wait and let these two grow, thicken up over the next year or two. Same thing up here. These can, as soon as these develop better, we'll be able to use those. How much room do I have? I need that in the middle, so we're going to have to come back here and we'll cut this one just like we did with the other one, kind of flat like that. And then this one that's coming up over the top, I think we're just going to take all the way off. Now there should be plenty of energy in the trunk, and then this is a good bit of root as well. So we should be fine taking off most of these roots. And if not, worst thing happens is I lose a free tree. So that's all the roots it's going to start with for this year. It should develop fine though, actually, because there's nothing there. I'm going to take this all the way back to there and kind of develop that right now. This will all eventually get cut off as soon as I get roots here. I'll probably actually, no, I know I will. Grab my knife. That one's fine. So in the back is where I'm going to need a couple more roots. So I will come right here. We're going to come in and make sure that we get all the way down to the that inner layer of wood. And this way it should shoot new roots all around this area. We'll do the same thing right here. The next time we repot this, we'll do the same thing, just in a different spot. But what we want to do is just make sure that we're kind of interrupting that flow of nutrients into this particular spot. Now it might not produce anything because the only branch is right here. I might let some stuff grow over here just to kind of force nutrients down into the to the root ball. But yeah, we should develop two sets of roots here and here. We've got some up here that can develop, and then shorten this back a little bit. Don't like that one. And then this one we can shorten back to there. So little tiny roots. This one, we're like I said, eventually everything below there will get removed, so that all we have is that to start our Mulberry. So if I can show you that, there we go. So that'll eventually be our root pattern, plus with some here, and we'll have this heavy root right there. All right, so what we're doing is we're tying down to that to this bottom root that we're not going to keep eventually. That's going to get cut off. So we don't really care what happens to it. It can get scarred all it wants. The rest of this we'll just make sure that we're putting out in a radial pattern, so that we know it's going to grow where we want it to. So we need to make sure that we don't have anything that we want to keep trapped underneath this wire, or that'll be bad. That does not matter. No. Good. And that should be good. And then what we want to do is come in here, make sure that everything is pointed in the direction that we want it pointed in. And then we'll just top it with a little bit of more soil. That doesn't matter. We don't really have to worry about chopsticking down too much. All I'm doing is going in, and anywhere there's exposed root, just taking it and pushing it down. There's not a whole lot of place for air gaps to form, so we're just making sure that all of that is down. And then we'll come in a little bit of sphagnum. Around the top. About like that, and I'm going to go water it in. So there we are. So about like that. We're going to be our potting angle is going to be slightly that way. And slightly forward. So if we pot it about like that, a little bit more like that, and then bring this down around. So that right there should be our new tree. So yeah, real quick repot on that. This will probably just go up as like an auxiliary video somewhere. We'll do it somewhere in the end of the week. Since it is a shorter video, probably same thing. Probably be doing that with a couple of other plants that I'm planning on repotting. I think I have like 7 or 8 that need to go into pond baskets. Some of them will be going back into like the compost type soil, and some of them will be going into a bonsai substrate. Because this one is about as big as I want it to be. I went ahead and we're going into the substrate to kind of just like confine those roots a little bit better. Once I get enough developed, we're going to have to find a pot for this one. The leaves are a fairly bright green. So I might go with like a yellow to kind of try and accentuate this base. Just because the roots on these, I mean, they're pretty yellow. As they get older, they go more into the orange family. They come in more to this color right here. I don't know if you can tell the difference. It's going yellow, kind of into this orange, and then into a brown, and then to a greenish brown. That brown is really just the stain from the soil that it was in. But yeah, so that's what I'm planning, or that's what I've done for this one. This will go back out into the cold frame. Probably shouldn't need to protect it in the next couple of weeks, so the cold frame should be plenty for it, and we will see how this one turns out in the spring. All right, so until the next time I see y'all out at the bench in the backyard, just remember to grow them big but keep them small.